Good Thursday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up today. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and today, in an Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with Dr. Ian Smith from The Doctors. Enjoy today's program. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Thursday headlines. In national news, Mississippi surpasses 3,600 COVID-19 deaths. The Mississippi State Department of Health reported 1,593 new COVID-19 cases in Mississippi on Wednesday and 20 additional coronavirus-related deaths. There have now been 137,396 COVID-19 cases in the Magnolia State and 3,601 coronavirus-related deaths since the first COVID-19 case was confirmed in Mississippi on March the 11th. That's according to the Mississippi State Department of Health. Mask mandates are in place for 22 of Mississippi's 82 counties. Mississippi health leaders say they're seeing a spike in COVID-19 cases among school children. More than 5,000 Mississippi school children have contracted COVID-19 since fall classes started, according to the state health officials. More than 14,000 children are in quarantine. In a related story, tired to the bone. Hospitals overwhelmed with virus cases. Overwhelmed hospitals are converting chapels, cafeterias, waiting rooms, hallways, even a parking garage into patient treatment areas. Staff members are desperately calling around to other medical facilities in search of open beds. Fatigue and frustration are setting in among frontline workers. Conditions inside the nation's hospitals are deteriorating by the day as the coronavirus rages around the United States at an unrelenting pace, says the Associated Press. "We're depressed, disheartened, and tired to the bone," said Allison Johnson, Director of Critical Care at Johnson City Medical Center in Tennessee, adding that she drives to and from work some days in tears. The number of people in the hospital with COVID-19 in the U.S. has doubled in the past month and set new records every day this week. As of Tuesday, more than 76,000 were hospitalized with the virus. Newly confirmed infections per day in the U.S. have exploded more than 80% over the past 2 weeks to the highest levels on record, with the daily count running at close to 160,000 on average. Cases are on the rise in all 50 states. Deaths are averaging more than 1,100 per day, the highest in months. The out-of-control surge is leading governors and mayors across the United States to grudgingly issue mask mandates, limit the size of private and public gatherings ahead of Thanksgiving, ban indoor restaurant dining, close gyms, or restrict the hours and capacity of various businesses. In more national news, Barack Obama autobiography off to record-setting start in sales. Former President Barack Obama's A Promised Land sold nearly 890,000 copies in the U.S. and Canada in its first 24 hours, putting it on track to be the best-selling presidential memoir in modern history. The first-day sales, a record for Penguin Random House, includes pre-orders, ebooks, and audio. "We are thrilled with the first-day sales," said the publisher of the Penguin Random House brand, Crown. "They reflect the widespread excitement that readers have for President Obama's highly anticipated and extraordinarily written book. The only book by a former White House resident to come close to the early pace of A Promised Land is a memoir by Obama's wife, Michelle Obama, whose Becoming sold 725,000 copies in North America its first day and has topped 10 million worldwide since its release in 2018. In business news, stocks give up early gains and end lower on Wall Street. An afternoon slump left stocks indexes broadly lower on Wall Street, erasing early gains as traders worried anew about the rapid spread of the coronavirus in the U.S. The S&P 500 lost 1.2%. It was up 0.3% in morning trading, and small company stocks were heading for another record high after Pfizer and BioNTech reported updated data suggesting their potential COVID-19 vaccine may be 95% effective. Major indexes turned lower in afternoon trading, and the losses accelerated after New York City said it would close its public schools to in-person learning again as infections continue to rise there. And finally, in entertainment news, rappers and R&B singers tend to be the most nominated acts at the Grammys thanks to producing their own hits and collaborating with others. sometimes from different genres, giving them a chance to qualify for more nominations than a pop or country singer who worked alone during the eligibility period. Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and others are proof of this theory, and in a normal year, Megan Thee Stallion would be that rapper, but the Associated Press says 2020 is not your normal year, so what will come? We'll have to find out. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Become an inspiration for others. When you take steps to improve your personal or business life, you also become willing to assist others. Be honored and humbled by the trust these people put in you. If you are unsure as how best to lead them, simply examine your own experiences. This will affirm the wisdom you have to offer. Recognize the fact there are many ways one can reach a single goal. When you are aware of these many roads to success, you can assist any other person to make choices that will also work best for them. Instead of focusing on methods and thought patterns that brought you success, you will be able to look at the individual you are guiding and consider what advice would work best for them. Today, become cognizant of the many ways you can become an inspiration to others. And remember, enjoy the day.
Enjoy today's Entertainment Spotlight featuring Dr. Ian Smith, right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Many people know Dr. Ian Smith from his best-selling books and his appearances on shows like The Doctor. In today's segment of Conversations Live, we talked about the importance of personal responsibility when it comes to our health. Here's part of our conversation.
Because I want to talk about personal responsibility for a moment, Dr. Ian, because one of the things you've done through your books for sure, like Shred, has been able to show us how we can take care of ourselves. So what are some of the best preventative measures that we can take at home to stay healthy during this time?
Well, Cyrus, this is a really critical time for the entire country. We see cases surging in the pandemic, and now we're in cold and flu season. So it's important that people practice very simple preventative measures that we've been talking about for a long time. For example, if you're coughing and sneezing, do it into a tissue. If you don't have a tissue nearby, make sure you're doing it into the inside of your elbow to prevent the spreading of germs. Also, washing your hands is so critical. Warm water and soap, 20 seconds is critical. If you don't have a warm water and soap, use hand sanitizer. But these are methods that we know can help spread disease, and it takes all of us to do it. And people are going to have cold and flu symptoms this time of year. Things like cough, chest congestion, fever, headache, even a sore throat. And we know that there is no cure, Cyrus, for the common cold or the flu. But we also know that there is a way to get symptomatic relief. There are over-the-counter medications people can get, things like Mucinex DM 12-hour. These kind of products can help relieve your chest congestion. It can help control your cough. It can loosen the mucus and thin it out that's been giving you problems. Up for 12 hours. So people should use these medications, make sure they use them as prescribed by the manufacturer. It's on the box or on the bottle. And also, if symptoms do persist, always check with your healthcare professional to make sure that nothing else needs to be done. But these are important things for us, particularly as we are struggling with the pandemic and the surging cases.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll be back with you guys on tomorrow to wrap up this week. And until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.